Saints fans, if there's one thing worse than a loss, it's losing to Carlton. I cannot stand losing to that mob. We've had their measure for the past 20 years, and whenever we get beaten by them, I am just down in the dumps. I am sour. It ruins me for the night, ruins me for the next day, and just it's been the cherry on top of a sour season for me. So, without further ado, Marshy, how are you?
Oh, yep, lads and listeners. I feel better now. I feel better now than I did on Friday night, Saturday, and then, we got away for the weekends. We headed down to Drummond North in between Hepburn and Dalesford.
Beautiful.
Nice little homestead, took Booty, the doggo, and just phone off, Olympics on, no footy. And, I don't know. It was disappointing, wasn't it? Jakey, how are you, mate?
What's your dog's name, mate?
Booty.
Hey, I didn't even know you had a little pup.
Oh, really? Oh,
Ah.
Shows how much interest you take in my affairs, Godfather.
It's all Saints footy, mate. I don't really think about much else.
Yeah,
Unless the dog's name's Lenny.
Sure.
It's Booty with an eye at the end. She's got little white socks. So yeah.
Beautiful. Well, footy-wise, that was a tough night.
Oh, yeah.
Rough.
That fan cam on top of it, Carlton fan jumps on board, talks shit about Gresham for some reason. It was a long night. I mean, I went to bed at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the loss, processing it. And Joycey, you didn't even. I mean, you got to come clean now.
I got to come clean.
He's
happened?
dropping a bomb.
Oh, good.
I didn't watch the full game.
No.
Really?
You got to understand. Okay, so
I think most people will understand why.
Look, it's been a rough week. Work hasn't been kind. Like, of course, we opened back up and customers are flying through the door, and getting everything organised for that's just been a stress. So I expect to come home on Friday night, sit down and watch the footy, and if not watch us win, watch a good contest. But to see us put up that deplorable act on a Friday night on the big stage at our home ground, which is meant to be our sanctuary, I just had enough. It got to 3 minutes into the third quarter, and Harry Mackay had kicked his fourth or whatever. And I turned to my housemate Paddy. I said, "Fuck this! Let's go play pool somewhere." So we just got up, left, and I went and played pool. Unfortunately, they were playing the footy at the pool den we were at, but and that's when we started to make our little bit of a comeback on the deficit. But I'm so over it. It is not what I needed on a Friday night, and I was so angry.
Yeah, fair enough.
With it, So, and had it not been the week it was, maybe I would have watched the game through because I knew we would have had our purple patch. But it was just too much, and I didn't even want to see us do well. And
was it you that were messaging, or someone was telling me that, like, even though we're down, because of that ruck dominance they had Silvani in the bloody ruck.
That's taken the piss.
Any team that doesn't have a ruck, I've realised, we don't capitalise on it like we should.
Well, it gives them an extra midfielder. Like, he had 8 clearances or something.
He got their man of the match, I think.
Yeah, so he pretty much just jumped up for the contest, landed like a cat every single time, and got possession. Like, he had 25 disposals or something. So, that just shows that we don't know how to capitalise on someone's weakness. We're just so focused on our own game that we just don't give a shit. And we don't know how to wrap our heads around another plan.
We go back to under Alan Richardson. We were so focused on the opposition that he took that creativity away, that X factor, thinking on your own, playing with your own creativity. And then Rats comes in, and we were all excited because we thought, well, he's going to get that back out. He's going to tell them to play on instinct and get the ball rolling, play, exciting attacking football. And I feel like we've almost gone too far that way. Like you said, we don't utilise when we have an advantage on the ground. And if there's any place we have an advantage on the ground at the moment, it's in the ruck, because we've got Rowe back. I mean, Paddy missed, but coming up against Carlton, honestly, we should have won with just Paul Hunter in the ruck.
Yeah.
I honestly don't give a shit. We should have still won
and
just with Hunter.
The thing is, how we said we weren't capitalising? Well, sending Rowan Marshall forward didn't do much, did it? because we kept looking for King anyway. So, and same with Paul Hunter, having the two ruckmen down forward, they're thinking, okay, yeah, this is all out attack, we can just put it on their head and go. Well, Jacob Wiedering got his shit together and ended up, playing good football. Why didn't one of the rucks go back? Why didn't we send one of the ruckmen back to plug that hole that Harry Mackay was running into?
Membry, could he? Was he back there, or?
Membry tried, but
Yeah.
it was all too little, too late. It was just arrogance, and Carlton were tough. They were hard at the footy, and they put on immense pressure. So, and they just took advantage of the fact that some blokes haven't been having some good games. Like, geez, Crouch should be dropped. I'll say that straight away.
He had a good month, and his next month he's been the opposite. It's been bad.
The complete opposite, So, this season's done.
Not really, not mathematically. Can some other team actually win a game they should? Just so the door's shut. I hate the hope. The hope is what kills you.
Yeah, and the hope is what's actually killing the team.
Yeah.
Anytime that we've got something to play for, we stuff it.
Maddie's match. We've got a Pride game this weekend. Let's see if we can win a marquee game there.
Not going to happen. Like, anytime that we've got something extra to play for, we disappear. Anytime that we have a little bit of weight on our shoulders to get somewhere within the season, we panic. And it could be over instruction from the coaches. It could be under instruction from the coaches. I don't know. But our list is much better than the football we're currently playing.
Yeah. We just came out with no intensity. We just weren't switched on. And whether that was sort of the cumulative effects of pretty much the game against Port, leading into that game with the COVID bullshit, then jumping on a plane, going to Perth, then coming back. We just looked flat, tired, and I know it's a captain's run, but I did a cheeky duck out of work.
I saw that.
And, if you look real hard on one of the vids that the club posted of Zachy Jones having a shot, you see me lurking on top of the hill. But just watching that, and I'll preface it, captain's run is lighthearted. It's meant to be an opportunity where fans go in and the boys just relax. But they look like they were sitting on top of the ladder. There was no... They say it starts at training, that sort of attack mode or game mode. And watching that, like, they were just fucking around. And, just having pot shots from everywhere. But I just... With the game, everything that this season has thrown at us, we have still somehow come out the other end with an opportunity to do better and get into the 8. And I don't know, the attitude from just that little snippet of what I saw,
I
it
tend
was
to
shit
agree.
house.
It's almost like we can talk about injuries, the fixture being the hardest of any team, blah, blah, blah. But we've almost had the chance, like the 8th position on the ladder almost handed to us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, other teams don't want it. They can't take it. And we're still there despite how shit we've been.
Yeah.
And it's almost like 8th place has literally knocked on the door and said, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
And we're just like, I can't be
Nah,
stuffed.
don't come in. Yeah.
We're going to go up 50% for the rest of the year. All we need to do is up that, and we're there. It's not even hard. We just don't want it enough. I really believe that now. The boys do not want to play finals.
Yeah.
I have that feeling now. And that's the first time I can say that. There's no other reason for those performances. They don't care.
Yeah. And this is something that we actually, some people predicted at the start of the year because they said that our form last year was like Melbourne in 2018. And then they dropped off the ball. They had a chance to make the 8 and they just disappeared as well. And they were playing carefree football. They didn't really care about getting into the finals or whatever like that. They'd already achieved what they wanted to achieve by getting to a prelim the year before. They didn't want to get to a grand final.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, yeah, we've peaked. That's cool. So it's a character thing. It's not a personnel thing. It's a character thing.
And it sort of goes to, like, again, if we're referencing last year, where all we had was a 24/7 footy environment.
Mm.
It was to me, it was little surprise that we came up against West Coast switched on, because that's what we've been doing all week, even though it was not ideal circumstances. We had footy on the mind, and we were there for one reason only, and that was to turn up and play football. But again, it just shows that we're not there yet. We're just not we're not professional.
Yeah.
Nah.
It doesn't look like we're professional to me.
Like
Yeah.
after the bye, we had Richmond, Collingwood, Brisbane, Port, West Coast, Carlton, right? Imagine me telling you ahead of time, our biggest win is going to be against Richmond and we're going to smash Brisbane. But our biggest loss is going to be against Carlton
Yeah, that's a fair
in that
call.
6-7 game stretch.
That's
When
nuts.
you say it like that, you're like, well, that's Saints footy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally what we've come to terms with this year, is
Yeah.
that our best is almost better than anyone's because it beats anyone, anywhere, and our worst is worse than anyone's.
Yeah. Oh, it's shocking. It is deplorable.
Even North are looking. I'm not saying we're shit.
North
I'm just-
give it a crack.
They give it a
No
crack.
matter the situation, they
Yeah.
give it a crack. And that's what pisses me off is that, you know, we finally get that attitude when we play against some better teams. We're just like, you know what? Let's just give it a crack. See what happens. Brisbane, Richmond, knocked them off. West Coast earlier in the year, knocked them off. You
Yeah,
know,
if you pluck-
Sydney
if-
should have
yeah.
knocked them off. Geelong should have knocked them off. We didn't kick straight, but we gave it a crack.
Yeah.
And then we come up against teams that we should beat, and we don't. Like, how stuck up are these lads?
Adelaide and the Carlton game are the ones that are going to burn.
Yeah. And it's funny, you look at the ground and on Friday night, you think about the two blokes that are putting in effort. Jack Steele, for one. Of course he does. He does it week in, week out. He's got an amazing amount of character about him. And then a bloke that's been locked up for 2 weeks, Rowan Marshall, comes out and plays a blinder.
Yeah.
So they're the only two guys that give us stuff on the football field.
This to me is what I'm just shocked by this. But we had more kicks, more handballs, more inside 50s, more hit-outs, more clearances, more centre clearances, more contested possessions that all, like, uncontested as well, marks inside 50, intercept marks. And marks inside 50 was 17 to 10. League average is 11.
Yeah.
We were above average. And people still in the comments were saying, we lost because we bombed it. Well, actually, we've marked it in the 50 more than most teams do.
I hate to do this. I fucking hate to do this, but to give Carlton credit, I've never seen a football team kick that straight.
We did last year, but in terms of a full game, that was
In terms
crazy.
of a full game, that was berserk and bizarre. Like, I couldn't believe it. They were just kicking goal after goal, and every single opportunity they had, they took.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Yeah, and like, you know, we might have won all of those stats, what you just said, Jakey, but we were just constipated. We could not get any flow going whatsoever. Everything we did was a chore. We did everything the hard way.
Well said.
And then, you know, we get the marks inside 50, but like, whoop-de-doo if you're on the boundary or just not in the best position. And, yeah, whereas Carlton, they were just playing, I don't know, easy breezy
They-
football. Like,
To me,
Well, that's what they turned it into because of their pressure game.
Yeah.
So whilst we had the ball, they swarmed to turn us into a messy, calamity. And then as soon as they get the ball, they just
they played.
spread.
I spoke to this, I think it was with someone else, but they played 2020 Saints footy for me.
Yeah.
They swarmed, they spread.
Yep.
Their goals were a lot of just crumbs.
Out the back,
Kicking
yeah.
deep. They kicked I just checked it then on the one of the footy apps. They kicked 13 goals from basically 40 metres out directly in front. From
Yeah.
the goal square to the 40, they kicked 13 of the 18.
yeah.
No wonder they kicked straight.
Beating
And that's
their own
why
game.
we kicked straight. Dead in front, crumbing, running into an open goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat us at our own game. They really did.
It's just baffling, isn't it? Such a massive change off of last year.
Off 3 weeks ago.
Off 3 weeks ago. It's exactly right. 3 wins in a row. Great. Three losses in a row now.
We have to be the most bipolar team in the comp.
Oh, by far.
I reckon. It's just we can do what we did against Richmond and Brisbane, and even Port and West Coast. We played well, and then you just serve up shit like that to Carlton.
Yeah, that's just...
And sorry boys, but my Carlton source clearly got it wrong about Curnow and Mackay not playing last week.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Kerno wasn't the issue.
It
No.
wasn't, but it still
It was a
stretched out.
distraction.
It stretched out
Correct.
offence.
Yeah.
He still warranted Wilkie. Was it Wilkie that was going with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Wilkie was going with Mackay by the end, of
Yeah,
course,
because-
because Dukes is out, so he'll miss this week with a hamstring.
Yeah.
Clark also missing this week now with concussion. And
Sinks should be back.
hopefully, yeah.
Mackenzie as well, so we'll see.
Do
but-
we put Clark on ice for the rest of the year?
Oh, I
Absolute.
think so.
Clark and Dukes. I mean, Dukes
Well,
probably.
Dukes-
Hamstring, you don't want to risk that, do you?
Yeah.
It just depends on what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it's tightness, then okay, that's fine. You give him a week off and you just make sure the legs rest enough and you don't put too much load on it, and then you can come back, you actually feel pretty good. But if it's like a strain or a
just-
tear, you just put them on ice.
Because the next 3 weeks, we've got 3 big forward lines. We've got, obviously, Sydney's got a big one, Geelong, and then even Freo have got some tools there that could worry in the last game of the year. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we just bring in Clav, bring in Frawley, get the cough going, just get them all in, see what fits, what works, mix it up before 2022?
You got to,
Yeah, you do.
That's the time, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is also where your midfields need to work a bit harder. You know, our midfield did not do as much defensive work as they have been previously.
Yeah.
They have not been getting back. They weren't getting back and helping out the forwards. That forward line was so open for Carlton.
Oh, yeah.
It was so open. There was no wingers or halfback flankers or centremen running back
Yeah.
to cover space.
Why do we think Walsh just
The
waltzed in
only
and kicked
bloke,
through?
the only bloke that did it, and I thought it was an absolutely brilliant effort to get in his way, was Seb Ross. Got in the way of Harry Mackay and forced the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the only one that did it. So, yeah, I don't know. There is just so much to work on now, and there's so much to look at going into our pre-season because, quite frankly, the pre-season that we had didn't work.
Did we really have one? I mean, they took it easy. They took it too easy.
I
And I
think-
reckon that's carried through to the season.
Well, as I said a few episodes, I hear whispers that they went too hard,
really?
and they were cooked by the start of the year, and that's why we got, blasted out of the water by a couple of, well, Melbourne are a good team, but a team like Essendon is because we went too hard on the legs. So, it'll be interesting to see how our fitness managers and performance managers look at this pre-season and go, okay, well, how do we go at it? And I hope it's not, well, we went hard on them this year, so we've got to do the opposite next pre-season. It's like, no, you need to plan it out perfectly.
Yeah.
So, the midway of that. But, there's going to be a lot of sore boys at the end of this year. A lot of sore boys. So, we just hope that we can get that rest in and get back for a good pre-season. Get some fitness up.
And it's like, I've been on his train for a long time, but Jackie Billings, mate, those 3 shots from near on the same spot.
Yeah.
To when we had our run, if he sinks one of those, we're up and about. Even though it would have been, it would have been a difficult ask, but at the very least, someone of his experience and skill and all of that crap, you dob that. But it just, again, permeates to the rest of the crew to go, all right, fuck, well, if he's not doing it, well, we can't do it.
Wasn't one passed off from Higgins?
Yeah.
And you're like, I back Higgins every day of the week on his left from that angle, and he
Yep.
goes backwards, worse angle to Billings, I think. And
Well,
Billings misses
the
it.
angle was improved, and it by all rights, yeah.
I know he's on his left side,
Yeah,
but you're a small forward. He's done it countless times.
yeah.
You kick that goal.
That was a bit of Richmond about Higgins in
Yeah,
that
he just saw the free man.
setting up, but. And you stitched us up by getting us on afterwards. I should never have gone on to your little fan cam.
Nah,
because,
mate, you were good.
But I made a silly point about our starting midfield at the last quarter and raffled off a few players. But the point that I wanted to make was that you see Billings hiding on a wing. Get him in the guts. Like,
He's in the leadership group. Put him in there.
yeah, you can't be hiding on the wing when they're just getting it out and the wingers don't have a chance.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know. There was just not enough things being mixed up. It's just bland.
Yeah.
And
Well, we talked about it during the game too before Joycey went to play pool. They had the free man out the back, defensive side, for the
Two.
first half, maybe the whole game really.
The
Two
whole
of them,
game.
right?
Two.
And we were messaging back and forth as we do, and I was saying, how is no one on the field just noticed that? Just said, well, they're getting kicks out nonstop. Someone take initiative. You're a leader. Steele, Dunstan, someone just go defensive side. They don't get that clearance. You repeat. That's what we've been good at for the last month.
Even one of your small forwards, sacrifice
push
yourself.
Push up.
Because if you've got a small back pocket on you got to take that on yourself to take them to the contest or have them choose to stay. Because if they stay, they're not going to impact the contest, are they? So, they won't intercept Mark. So, I don't know.
What do we do, though? What did we do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We did nothing about it. And it happened. That's how we got destroyed by teams earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Which is putting two off the back and having them run.
it's like we freeze up and just can't make a move either way. We're just like, fuck, all right, we'll just keep doing what we're doing because I can't think of an alternative solution to try and, rectify what's going on.
Yeah.
So I put this to you. If not the players, then who?
Jake is junk mail. Jake is junk mail. Jake is junk mail. Jake is junk mail.
Jake.
Joyce.
Let's do it. Make me happy. Make my day.
Gangova.
Yeah, they're... Sorry.
What was that?
Well, there weren't too many positive Jake's junk mail, so sorry to burst your bubble there, Joycey.
No. Where's Mitch when you need
Yeah,
him?
can't
I know,
Mitch.
yeah.
He'd be flat.
This one's a new one from Kale. I don't think we've had Kale send one in before.
Super food.
Delicious food, yep.
Delicious is a big call.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. He's asked, as a club, we don't seem to have the ability to bounce back after a loss like the better teams do. Do you think it's a mindset issue or is it something that comes with time as a team?
Well, it's a mindset issue. I will say this, and I did say it at the start of the year, that we have a lot of new players. This group hasn't been together for more than 12 months. So we've had a lot of new players in. It takes a little bit of time to gel and to know each other and to know what you're about and to help each other on the football field. So I think it's partially skill. Like we could be asking players too much of themselves, and we're getting found out because of that. But yeah, it just, for me this year, it's gelled at times and it looks brilliant. But then when we get thrown, a curveball by an opposition, we don't.
We turn to Moose.
Yes.
Like Moose, rather than gel where you got that strong all day hold, the Moose, it looks good for a bit, but
Falls flat.
Throw it in amongst the elements, and then you're getting fluffy.
Yeah. That's one of your better analogies there.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I was going to say, I
bro.
don't think I've used mousse or gel for 20 years.
No, I'm on the wax these days.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Play on.
Sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts after that.
What do you use, Godfather? I reckon you're. Well, let me guess. I reckon you're a dry wax kind of guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a bit
powder
of
man.
matte type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, Matt.
that's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's the one.
What do you haircut's looking all right?
It's
Or
nice.
It's good. It's
Pretty happy
good.
about it.
It's beautiful.
7 months in the making. Got to be messy on the weekend. I've completely lost track of what we're talking about.
Jakey's junk mail.
Jakey's junk mail. This one's from Krellin. When will Ratton stop being nice and drop the underperformed players? Several need a spell. No more excuses.
Does he need a rev up by one of the executives at the club?
Do you reckon Bassett needs to? I'd love to see Bassett just get him in.
Go on, give us your impression.
Nah, I think that's. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. He looks like a bloke that needs a rev up, so he can give others a rev up. Like
Yeah, he's just like, look, I don't want to fucking do this, but I'm under the pump. I got smacks, so I got smacks. I'm not giving you smacks, so I'm going to give you a fucking smack, boys.
Yeah.
And yeah, I reckon Ratton needs a rocket himself. I don't know.
And how annoying was it to hear the same shit after the
didn't-
game?
I can't watch the
I didn't
press
watch it
anymore. I can't watch
I
them.
didn't watch it. I'm same with you. I knew what he was going to say, And I was like, oh, Rats, you're turning into Richo, mate. Don't,
Yeah, exactly.
Don't.
That's the
Don't
thing.
do it.
And that was one of the things I really loved about Rats was that I felt that his press conferences, regardless of what the game was, he came into it with a different kind of angle, like a refreshing one. But
Yeah.
shit's getting a bit stale.
Mm-hmm.
This one's from Tom. Hey, boys, love the pod.
Thanks, Tommy.
Tom.
Tommy.
We seem to lack tall defenders. Who should we be targeting? Are
Oh,
there any?
yeah, we need another key defender, that's for sure.
Is anyone out of contract? Is anyone looking around?
Talia from Adelaide. He's got injury concerns, or he hasn't played all this year. He's 29.
Cleary,
So-
I think, as well.
Oh, I'd
Tom
love
Cleary.
Tom Cleary.
How old's he? He's not.
Nah,
He's on the younger side, isn't he?
yeah, he's not that old. We should have got him instead of Spencer White. I called up SEN that night.
Tom, did
Oh.
you?
I was spewing. But yeah, Tom Cleary would be great. I don't think he's out of contract though. They love him at Port. That's kind of
Is
why
he mates with
Dougal
Dukes?
left.
Is he mates with Dukes?
Of course he would be, but that he was one of the reasons why Dougal had to leave because Cleary took his spot. So
Yeah, fair. Yep.
probably Talia. But yeah, we do need a big boy.
Or just
Yeah.
bloody draft one. I don't care.
Draft on, develop him.
Mature age instead of an intercept. Get a big boy that just takes to square and
Someone like a
takes
Sam
the gorillas.
Collins.
That's it. Just a big boy. That
Yeah.
can punch the ball.
Yeah.
That's all you need. This one's from Marlon. What's our best outcome for 2021? Win more games or blood more youth?
Blood more youth. And can I say, speaking of blooding more youth, the youth that we've brought in has been spectacular. Every time
Yes.
that we have a loss, one of those kids does something immense. That play
Connolly.
from
Through the
Connolly,
middle.
he stuffed the kick at the end, but geez, like, it's his first year. How good was that? He knew where everyone was and he split the middle and he just left. He went
He thinks so fast with the footy.
so quickly.
He's running that way and he's got eyes here and he sees a gap.
Yeah.
And he's like, fake, gone.
Yes, exactly.
He just thinks so fast. He's going to be a very good footballer.
He's got very quick feet. He's almost got that goose step about him, doesn't he? You know, in rugby
Yeah.
where they lead up at someone and then they goose step him and go off to the side.
Yeah.
He almost does that in the middle of a pack,
Yeah.
which is spectacular. So I'd love to see that. But let's keep going out and drafting more kids who can kick on both feet because they get us out of trouble so much because they just believe in themselves. So let's go do that. Go get more kids that can kick on both feet.
He wasn't the only kid that showed something, though. Burns continued his form. I thought
That's
he was
exactly
good.
right.
And even Sharman
He was
came
all right.
on, kicked through the footy,
Yep.
led the ball.
Once.
4 marks.
He kicked through it once.
He kicked 2 goals.
Yeah, but the second one was like it was a dead goal.
All right,
He-
shit on his parade, Marshy.
Well, no,
First game.
yeah. Like fair cop. Well, if you welcome to St Kilda, mate.
Start with that next time.
Yeah, but like fucking, it was good to see him. He showed a bit.
Yeah.
yeah. But again, like the rest of his teammates and Connolly, he missed one. So did Burns. Everyone just like had a chance to kick a significant goal and they muffed it. So
Yeah.
whether you're old, experienced, or otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I was pissed. I'm salty. I'm salty.
All right, well, we'll jump to the next one. This one's from Lewis. Considering the interest in Caulfield, would it be worth exploring considering he just signed a 2-year contract if we get something good for him? Or would you rather back him in to regain his 2020 form? So if anyone doesn't know, there's been some whispers that North Melbourne and Hawthorn are just keeping tabs
Where
on
have these
on
whiskers
Cough.
come from?
Just a few people here and there. So and this is something I heard earlier in the year as well, but it was more on the flip side that Caulfield wasn't liking that he wasn't getting games and that he was looking or he was just going to, not turn down any chats with any other club because he wants to play and he knows he's capable.
Yeah, well,
He
he
just
needs to
doesn't
show
look
He
at
it.
just doesn't
Yeah.
look at it at the moment, but that's like a lot of the team.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know. It depends. If it's
You're not-
if it's a Jake Bertone offer, then
Yeah.
we take it. But otherwise, no. You signed up for 2 years,
He's 21,
Yeah.
22?
so yeah, no, he's got a high ceiling, and yeah, we just need him to get back.
Yeah,
to
he's still
playing.
young.
Yeah.
Still young.
Saints footy, Saints footy. As I shampoo my head, I really love my Saints footy, and I love the feeling so Saints food, Saints food, Saints food, Saints food, Saints food, Saints food,